this is going to be a little bit different list. Starfox is going to be number 5 on this list. So before we begin, give a thank you to Nintendo for announcing Starfox for the Wii U at last month's E3. So, with that said, this is my top 5 game sequels that I want. Now, most of these sequels I probably won't get, but I think only 5 of them. But I think 2 of them are probably no shot I'm going to get. But the other 3, one's a possibility. The other 2 I think are long shots. But hey, this is my list. These are games I want. So number 5 on my list is Fortune Street for the Wii U. This game is actually pretty underrated. Not many people know about it. I didn't know about it until I watched the Runaway guys do some boards of this, and it looked like a lot of fun, so I bought it, and it was a gift. My brother's got it for me. I played it, and it was a lot of fun. You have Dragon Quest characters, you have Mario characters, and it's a blend of Monopoly, a little bit of stock market stuff with you buy stocks in certain districts, and a bit of Mario Party. You have only 4 mini games, but you have cars, adventure cars I believe they're called, that are kind of like Chance or Community Chess Monopoly that can hurt or help you in the game. And not to mention, the board is split up into certain sections, just like Monopoly board. And the more shops you get in a district, the higher the shop value is. And you can even put money into the shop to make the stock price in that district go up along with the shop price itself. So there's an interesting strategy of when to invest in an area, when to invest in yourself, when to invest in other people, when to do all sorts of stuff. And it's kind of fun to play. I mean, it's definitely a good party game, and I think it deserves a spot on the Wii U. So hopefully we'll be able to get that. This is the game I thought is a possibility. So this is probably the one that will probably be, we'll get if all of these 5. If we get any of these 5. Next on my list is number 4, Knights of the Old Republic 3. Now, before you say, wait, what about the Old Republic? That's an MMO RPG that's online. It's not the same. The original Knights of the Old Republic, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, you followed a guy with no memory. You try to figure out how to help the Jedi, in the Jedi Civil War, figure out how to get a weapon to stop Malak. And he was the disciple of Revan, and then you find out there's a long backstory. The second one I thought was a good game too. Coincidentally, these are the only 2 Star Wars games I've ever played, and the only 2 RPG games I've ever played. Legend of Zelda doesn't count. That's not an RPG. It has RPG elements, but it's an adventure game. It's an action-adventure game. So, the first one had, I thought, a great story. It was complete, and it flowed pretty well. And it really got you into the game. The second one, I thought, had a better gameplay. Easier to switch between weapons. The ability to upgrade your weaponry by adding stuff to it was done well. And in the second one, it was done a lot better, I thought. But the story, because it was rushed, it only came out a year after the first one. It was rushed, and I think that hurt it a lot. Because the story's incomplete. Some of the stuff that could have been expanded upon wasn't. And so, it could have been a lot better. From what I've read, Lucas Studios or Lucas Games, they're shut down. So we're probably never going to get Knights of the Old Republic 3. So that sucks, because the second one ended on a real cliffhanger with what happens to your protagonist in that game and the protagonist in the first game, because they reference him, and not to mention you have to basically go and find him in the it's supposed to be a third game. But I would because it's incomplete, I would almost be willing to accept a complete edition of Knights of the Old Republic 2. But I would like to see a third one, but we probably won't get it. Unfortunately, that sucks. Alright, number 3 on my list is Spider-Man Web of Shadows 2. Now, if you don't know about Web of Shadows, it's kind of easy to understand because this game came out probably a year or so after Spider-Man 3, or came out shortly afterwards, I should say. And it came out at the same time as another Spider-Man game called Spider-Man Friend or Foe. And both of them are good games. They're both symbiote stories. So the symbiote in Web of Shadows starts to expand and multiply from the original Venom symbiote, and it's starting to take over the city. It's starting to possess people, and you're trying to free them, but one of the symbiote latches onto you, and you try to manipulate it, or should I say use its power without being, going all dark side, I guess you want to call it. And that's the thing, though, you can choose the ending. There are 4 different endings to the first one, to Spider-Man Web of Shadows, and it was really good. Unfortunately, what I think holds it back from being a great game is the fact that it's pretty glitchy at times. Some of the enemies would just disappear out of nowhere. I'd be fighting and then boom, they would disappear. Like, what the heck happened? And there was one glitch, man, I kind of wish I did Let's Plays because I could show this to you, but you would be able to dive off a building and do the web sling. But before I hit the ground, I tried to use the web sling, but I couldn't, and then I was just stuck like this, and then I went to the floor. Those sort of things kind of break the game, don't make it as fun. And I think if given the time and effort into it, a second one would be a lot better, tighten up the mechanics, not be as repetitive as Spider-Man Web of Shadows is. It got a really good story, and I think especially 2 of the endings lend itself to a sequel, and it would be cool to actually play as an evil Spider-Man, because you can end up having that ending with Peter Parker, being the bad guy. The symbiote's taking control of him. He's going to take over the city now, and I would really like to see that sort of story. We've seen Spider-Man be the good guy. I would like to see him be the bad guy. So I don't know if we'll ever get that, but if we do, if I get any of these games, I'll come on this channel and I will say thank you to the studio that brings it. Okay, number 2 on my list is Mad World 2. Oh, I gotta do it. Mad World. Yes, this is a fun game. This answers the question, was black and white and red all over? Mad World. It's done, the art style is fantastic. It goes for like a graphic novel style, black and white, and the only color other than that is red from the blood. Every time you kill someone, you can shower the place in blood, and some of the finishers are hilarious, and you can really get into it because it was on the Wii. They used the motion controls very well, and I thought this game was a lot of fun. It kind of lent itself to a sequel, and they even kind of made fun of the fact might be a sequel, but I would like to see a true Mad World 2. People say, what about Anarchy Reigns? I never played it, so I cannot judge it, but I would like to see something like this. Some motion controls would be nice, at least as an option. So I would really like to see this again. It was so much fun to play, so bloody, but yet it was hilarious. Great proofs, and John DiMaggio, guy who does the voice of Bender in Futurama, those two are hilarious as the announcers. And I would sometimes play and I would do something just to hear the announcers because they're so funny. And the music in this, man, this is one of the only games other than like classic, like 8-bit games that I would want the soundtrack for. This is one of them. And it's such a fun game. I so want to see a sequel come out for the Wii U or the PS4, Xbox One. You know, I want to have some sort of ability to play this again. Motion controls would be great, even if it's just like as an option. You don't have to play it that way, but you can, because this game lends itself to that. And speaking of which, my number one game sequel that I want is No More Heroes 3. What can I say about this game? Oh man, this is so much fun. If you've never played these two games, play them. They came on the Wii first, and the first one got a port on the 360 and the PS3. Not the same if you don't have motion controls. I think this game lends itself so well to motion controls because you're really feeling like you're finishing off your opponent, just like in Mad World. And just like Mad World as well, this one is bloody. Yeah, these games right here will bury that whole meme about how the Wii is just a kid's toy. No. Play these games and play House of the Dead Overkill as well. These games earn their M rating. See right there? M rating. It earns it. I mean, not just the violence, but the sexual innuendos that go on in this are hilarious. And Travis Touchdown, the protagonist, as the kind of pretty stereotypical nerd otaku kind of guy, is so much fun to watch. I so want to see a third one with Travis Touchdown. The second one lends itself to it. They do have like a cliffhanger kind of ending to it, and I would really like to see them finish it off in the third one. In the second one, there are a couple other playable characters that some people, they're hit or miss with people. I like them, and I would like to see more stages more stages, I guess, using those characters. My idea for a third one would be have it 3 different stories. Have your Travis Touchdown story, your Henry story, who is his brother, and a Shinobu story. I'll talk about Shinobu in a different top 10. But these games, play them if you don't have a Wii. If you want to just play them on your 360 or your PS3, go right ahead. They have them. I don't know if they're in the States. That's that easy to find, but check them out. Play them. And this game needs a sequel. This game and Mad World, I think, are long shots for sequels, but they're possible. And I so want this game. So want a third one. Gotta finish the fight. Even poke fun of other game series that have sequels. Like, we're gonna finish the fight, or for just like in the first one, they talk about No More Heroes Forever. That sort of humor as well is a welcome addition to this. It kind of distinguishes it from Mad World. So play this game. I want a third one. Make it 3-story, a type of game. You have it be almost like a alternate endings in a way, I guess. So yeah, third game. So what games do you want? What game sequels that do you want to see? So let me know. I'm kind of curious. So those are my 5. Let me know if you got any suggestions. So that's all I got. Later.